This morning, a change in airport leadership. What an investigation revealed about how she treated employees.
Plus, President Trump's tariffs, how a local grocery store owner is reacting.
All right, we want to start with some urgent and breaking news this morning, folks. There is an Amber Alert active right now for this missing 16-year-old from Beaver Dam. This is Sophia Martha Franklin. She was last seen at her home on Sunday night.
That's right. Police say she is 3 months pregnant and believed to be with 40-year-old Gary Day, who is the father of her unborn child. There is a no contact order between the two. Day is believed to be driving a 2014 Buick LaCrosse with an Arkansas license plate that reads BBR20L. If you have any information on their whereabouts, please contact Beaver Dam Police.
All right, with that, let's turn our attention to meteorologist Savannah Brito. She's got an alert day to tell us about. Savannah, what's going on?
Yeah, guys, good morning. The alert day for tomorrow, because of the growing concern for travel impacts, definitely going to be slick all across southern Wisconsin. I think the greatest chance of freezing rain, that mixed precipitation with even a light glaze of ice accumulation expected up to about 1/10 of an inch. Madison and southward, but areas north up towards the Dells and northward still going to see an impact. The alert day conditions for tomorrow afternoon with the greatest potential for the travel impacts and slick spots. I think the evening commutes tomorrow, and then the early morning Thursday commutes. We'll time that precipitation out coming up.
And we'll talk to you then. New this morning, a nationwide recruitment process is underway to find a new Dane County Airport director. That is according to reporting from the State Journal. It comes after leadership under Kim Jones, the current director, grew so poor, it sparked a 3-month investigation in 2023. She had been routinely unavailable, this report found, to make key decisions about the airport and neglected messages from her staff and representatives of Southwest Airlines. The investigation also found that she lied to employees and ghosted officials. Jones is the county's 4th highest paid employee, the salary of $228,000 a year. In an email to investigators, Jones denied all complaints against her.
In other local air travel news, Air Wisconsin is expected to cut around 500 employees. Their corporate offices are in Appleton, but they fly to and from the Dane County Airport. It comes from a letter from the company saying they are doing a strategic shift in operations. This is in part due to termination of the company's capacity agreement with American Airlines.
Now to updates on the deadly plane crash in Washington, D.C. Crews are continuing to recover remains from the Potomac River. 55 now of the 67 victims have been found. Crews have also lifted the right engine, a wing, and the fuselage belonging to the American Airlines plane. As NTSB investigators look into the cause of the crash, they say the black box data indicates that the plane was flying at about 325 feet at the time of the collision. That is higher than the 200 feet set by the FAA for helicopter traffic in that area. Investigators also say the plane appeared to pull up about a second before the crash, a possible final attempt to fly out of the helicopter's path.
This morning, concerns about inflation from U.S. tariffs aren't over. Europe is bracing for a potential trade showdown with the U.S. as an American tariff on Chinese imports takes effect today. The president of the European Commission says she wants to start negotiations with the U.S. early. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump says he plans to speak with Beijing on negotiations. China is retaliating now that American companies must pay 10% extra on Chinese imports. Beijing is issuing tariffs on certain items from the U.S., creating export controls and more.
Now, this all comes as the president is postponing those 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports, which many economists call inflationary. He says those countries have agreed to ramp up border security. Regardless of the pause, though, local business owners are still concerned. Jeff Maurer, the owner of Maurer Markets in the Wisconsin Dells, calls the idea of tariffs troubling. He says that they're putting him in a tough spot. A lot of his produce comes from Mexico.
If there's a 25% tariff on raspberries, it's going to raise it by more than $1 a package. That's a lot.
So if the tariffs on Canada are unpaused, if they go into effect, one place consumers are going to see an impact is at the gas pump. A lot of our gasoline comes from refineries that get their oil from Canada. This could cause gas prices to go up around 10 or 20 cents a gallon.
Well, this week is Flood Insurance Awareness Week, and the Wisconsin DNR is highlighting the importance of flood insurance.
Our consumer reporter, Michelle Renee Quinn, is here with what we need to know. Good morning.
Chris, Kyrion, good morning. Officials warned that most homeowners and renters insurance policies do not cover flood damage. Just 1 inch of water in your home could cause up to $25,000 in damages. Wisconsinites can buy federal flood insurance through the National Flood Insurance Program, even if they're outside the designated flood zones. You can find more information for federal flood insurance at floodsmart.gov. We spoke with insurance experts this week, and I'll be back on Friday with more tips on how you can be prepared for natural disasters and what to expect from insurance companies after the California wildfires.
All right, Michelle Renee, good information. Thank you. In other news this morning, a man is facing charges for impersonating a border patrol here in Wisconsin. Police say Hank Glimben stopped at 2 different police scenes and showed officers fake credentials in Muskego and New Berlin. U.S. Customs and Border Protection told police Glimben is not an agent, and the agency is aware he had been impersonating them. New Berlin police later arrested him, saying he had a hat stating U.S. Border Patrol, a green tactical vest with a Border Patrol patch, handcuffs, and a handgun on his hip. He told police he imitated a border agent because he wants to be one.
Well, Madison Public Library is celebrating 150 years of library service this year. There are several celebrations set to take place. This year's theme is Celebrating the Past, Inspiring the Future. 10th library is going to open up in fall of 2026. Every library is going to host an event in May. There is more information if you're interested at channel3000.com.
At no fault of their own, people in our community continue to make the difficult choice year in and year out between eating or heating their home. But there is help with the Keeping Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund. Tomorrow, you have the chance to help people in need during our Day of Warmth telethon. It's going to go on from 4 to 6:30 p.m. Volunteers from Kaiser Lincoln and Viridian Homes will answer your calls and raise as much money as possible to keep the Warm Cool funding going. You can donate anytime online at kwwf.com.
All right. 6:06 right now. Let's check in with Savannah, see what's going on with that forecast.
Guys, it's breezy outside, but winds are only going to increase more, and we have an alert day we added to the forecast. Those details coming up.
And we're live in Cambridge this morning with the big milestone Dip for Dozers having on the community and the impact felt here.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back at 6:10. We're in the 6:08 this morning. The Cambridge community is coming together this weekend to celebrate a big milestone for an event focused on giving back.
Josh Breider is there this morning near Lake Ripley with the story. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Hey, good morning, guys. We're on Lake Ripley Park Beach. You can see the ice right behind me. This is where the big event is going to be happening this weekend. Dip for Dozer, and this is going to be a big year, a big milestone for them. Jace Rindahl is joining us this morning. Jace, good morning to you.
Good morning. What a beautiful day.
Oh, my gosh. Look at you in just a sweatshirt this morning. Tough guy.
That's right. I got, make sure I look the part with my Dozer, Dip for Dozer sweatshirt and hat. So,
it's obviously going to be a party out here this weekend, and you guys are celebrating 20 years for Dip for Dozer. And, take us back. What is this event all about?
Yeah, it's a special event for the community of Cambridge. Looking back 20 years ago, we tragically lost Dustin Zuhlsdorf, and for us to be able to pay it forward and spin it in a way to give back and keep a positive light on it, it's been a great event for the community.
So this community obviously is very supportive in this, and it all goes right back into the community. So how does this all work?
Yeah, so you can come out and jump in the freezing lake and pledge $52, and that goes to a scholarship fund that for the last 19 years has given back to the football players for the Blue Jays here in Cambridge. But we also have added a scholarship, civil rights scholarship this year for the community as well.
Let's talk a little bit about that impact, because that's what Dozer was all about, is giving back, being kind to the community, and you guys are continuing that here 2 decades later. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty special to think back where we started and how to see this thing grow and improve it every year, and it really becomes a highlight of a lot of people's calendar. That second weekend of February, the dip's happening, it's for a good cause, and we're looking for a good crowd this year.
This is always a fun time too. We have some pictures and images, videos we want to show people this morning, because this really brings the whole community together. A lot of folks come back to the town for this weekend, and it's just a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot going on. You know, we got some turkey bowling. There's other activities that go on as well. So there's some food to eat and just a great day, and 11:30 registration, and we're jumping in the lake by 1.
You know, and it's also cool to see a lot of businesses, the community partners coming together. I mean, this has become a big community event over the last 2 decades.
Yeah, I mean, that just kind of shows you the type of people that are a part of Cambridge and involved in this event, and it's pretty special. So I think it's going to be a great day for the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, we got to make this year bigger than ever before. So people are interested again this Saturday. What do they need to know if they want to dip for Dozer?
Yeah, so you can register on Friday night if you'd like at Lake Ripley Lanes here in Cambridge. Otherwise, you can show up. 11:30 we'll start registration at Lake Ripley Park. And all you got to do is bring $52. We'll fill out a pledge form and get you registered. And we do have a costume contest, so if you got a little festivity to you or want to do some type of costume, that's pretty special as well. So that's it. 11:30 registration, and we're jumping in the lake by 1.
I mean, the lake looks kind of warm this morning, doesn't it?
Yep, we just keep telling ourselves that.
Whatever you got to do to stay tough, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Jace, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to learn more about Dip for Dozer celebrating 20 years and how to give back, just go to the story up on channel3000.com. It's a balmy 17 degrees here on Lake Ripley this morning, guys.
Well, why don't you go ahead
to jump in the
why don't you
lake.
get out? Yeah, go ahead and get out there, Josh.
You get out there.
Yeah,
You jump in.
no. Josh is already out there, so you go ahead.
You guys can do it.
All right. Great cause. So glad they're doing it again. And congratulations to them on 20 years. That is a huge accomplishment.
Big time.
Josh Brighter, we'll talk to you in a little bit.
Remember to let Josh know what inspired you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email us at in608@wisc-tv.com for a chance to be featured.
All right. Yeah, it is chilly out there this morning. We also have an alert day in the forecast. Here's Savannah to break it down. Hey.
Hey, thank you guys. Yeah, today we're waking up to the teens. It'll be a little bit cooler after the next 2 systems. The first one prompting alert day conditions, freezing rain with ice accumulations up to about 1/10 of an inch Madison and southward, but everyone across southern Wisconsin will be dealing with slick travel. That's why we have everyone included in the alert day for tomorrow. The hours mainly to focus on, I think, mid to late afternoon, especially the evening and early nighttime hours of Thursday morning. That's when I think there's going to be slick travel and impacts to commutes. So Madison a little bit northward, and then all these areas south, Boscobel, Janesville, Monroe, Platteville, basically the areas that will see the greatest chance for ice accumulation. Again, I said 1/10 of an inch, but areas north still going to see freezing rain, sleet, and then even snow accumulations. I think they will be minor, but definitely enough to cause slick travel. This is going to start tomorrow afternoon as snow, a light snow band moving through about lunchtime into the early afternoon to mid-afternoons possible. Then the evening commutes, freezing rain and mix, that's when that chance increases. That'll continue, though, through the early nighttime hours and early Thursday morning. That's when it's expected to move out of here. So as far as the region goes, I think that passes through Des Moines tomorrow during the morning and early afternoon. For us, we're looking at the mid to late afternoon, that snow band moving through. This is now 4 p.m. And then the freezing rain, basically the areas that show that hot pink, that's where greater chances of heavier ice accumulations going to be. So southwest of Madison at that point in time, I do think we'll still be dealing with freezing rain here across southern Wisconsin. I just think it's not going to be as prominent as areas across northern Illinois and also northern and central Iowa. They're probably talking about a little bit more of higher ice accumulations than what we're going to see here. That moving out Thursday early morning, this is 2 a.m. This model showing that out of here completely for central and northern Wisconsin if you're traveling up there. That's solely going to be snow. Allow extra time tomorrow. That's going to eventually move out of here, but I still think Thursday morning, at least early, we're going to see travel impacts and concerns because there will still likely be slick spots as a result of that wintry mixed precipitation. The good news is we warm up Thursday with a high of 36, and then our next chance in the form of snow precipitation coming on Saturday over the weekend.
Carter Gilmore's 5 years at Wisconsin have been a roller coaster. As Greg Gard put it, he's done it the hard way, walking on as a freshman, earning a scholarship, and now finally he's seeing all of his hard work pay off. Gilmore scored a career-high 15 points on Saturday, all in the second half to spark Wisconsin to a road win at Northwestern. He was the X factor in a must-win game, a game that will go down as the Gilmore game.
I mean, I think people really don't even know I'm a walk-on again this year, so paying for my school and doing that, that's just how much I love this place. I really am a Badger. I would never go anywhere.
Carter's been here through COVID. He's played in front of cardboard cutouts and everything that's, so he's seen a lot in his career. So for him to have those type of moments, obviously you want really good people that have been loyal and worked their tail off in this program to get rewarded.
And in other Badger news, John Tonje has been named to the Oscar Robertson Trophy mid-season watch list, an award that's given to the nation's top player. Tonje leads the Badgers in scoring and ranks top 10 in the country in free throws made, as well as free throw percentage. The last Badger to win the award all the way back in 2015, who else but Frank Kaminsky. Meanwhile, the Bucks were in action last night, but may as well have just waved the white flag. Giannis, Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton, and Brook Lopez all got the night off against one of the NBA's best teams. And what did you expect? Milwaukee got pummeled. They were down 78-44 at half and went on to lose 125-96. It is another week, another #1 ranking for Wisconsin women's hockey. The Badgers claimed the top spot in the USCHO poll yet again after another 2-win weekend. And a big part of those wins was the play of Ava McNaughton. The Badger netminder stopped 53 of 55 shots she faced, and for that, McNaughton has been named the WCHA's Goaltender of the Week. Meanwhile, after getting swept by Minnesota this weekend, the Wisconsin men did not get booted out of the nation's top 20. They slotted in at 19 in this week's USCHO poll, down 2 spots from last week. They'll host Penn State this weekend, who they swept on the road earlier this season. To the football field, where a trio of Badgers have been invited to this year's NFL Combine. Hunter Wohler, Jack Nelson, and Joe Huber will look to improve their draft stock during a week-long job interview that will be in Indianapolis. As always, the Combine begins on February 24th. And if you go to a Brewers game this next season, you might not even need a ticket. That's right, Milwaukee is testing out MLB's new go-ahead technology at their home plate and third base gates that uses facial recognition software as entry into the game. The program is completely voluntary and is meant to speed up entry for all fans. Fans that do want in could submit a selfie of themselves to the MLB app after purchasing tickets. That's your morning sports fix. Have a tip-top Tuesday.
All right. Hey, still ahead, how you can score some freebies by watching the Super Bowl.
We're back right after this. We're back at 6:23. This photo is from Michelle, not Michelle Renee, but a different Michelle.
Oh, come
Michelle
on. You think you can do better than this?
No, honestly,
This is a good picture.
It's a really nice picture. Beautiful sunset.
Summer vibes.
Yes,
Can't
very much so
wait.
summer vibes. This is Shawnee McFarland, she says. Beautiful photo, Michelle. Thank you very much.
Well, hey, trending this morning, it is National Thank a Mail Carrier Day. You know, those delivery people out there and mail carriers, they're working so hard. It's like every day. It's like they're just out there, you know, busting their humps for us. So here's the day. We appreciate you. It was 1775 that the Second Continental Congress established the Constitutional Post, now known as the United States Postal Service. And they've been going at it ever since. So thank your mail carrier today. Show your appreciation. You know, maybe lock your dog up so they're not out there hounding your mail carrier.
Yeah, so
Good idea.
And they don't get to decide the weather, so you know they have to still be out there.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that incredible? Yeah,
Kudos.
like tomorrow
Thank
on that
you.
alert day, we're going to have that ice out there, and that's
Yeah.
going to be giving them some fits. Maybe leave them a little something in your mailbox today. Well, hey, the Super Bowl this Sunday means some cool freebie offers for people and pets. Chewy is giving away treats for birds, dogs, and cats if the Philadelphia Eagles beat Kyrion's Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
Chipotle is giving away some free entrees too. It's for when something extra happens during the game. Chipotle is going to publish some text-to-claim codes on their social media profiles, so look out for those. Applebee's is offering 20 free boneless wings with any online purchase of $40 or more on Sunday with the promo code. Buffalo Wild Wings is offering up 6 free wings on February 24th if the big game goes into overtime. So there you go, some freebies for the big game.
yes, lots of freebies there. So just pay attention, I suppose. Pay attention.
All right, well, we got another weather trivia question. This
Redemption
one
time.
related to what type of wintry precipitation freezes on contact with a surface. Is it rain, sleet, freezing rain, or snow?
C.
Freezing rain?
I guess.
I'm gonna go with freezing rain's already frozen, so A, rain.
Which precip freezes on contact with a surface? So as it hits a car, as it hits the ground.
A C. It's freezing
I said
rain.
C.
Freezing rain.
Yes.
You were wrong again.
No, I reversed my
No.
answer right before the end there.
No.
I chose
Freezing
freezing
rain's already frozen, so rain. That's what you said.
Okay.
Which is what
Rewind.
we're going to see tomorrow.
Tomorrow's
It's gonna be a good
tomorrow's
day.
freezing rain.
Yeah, we have an alert day because of it. We'll talk about that coming up.
You know, the SAT makes these difficult questions, not, you didn't have to trick me.
This morning, rental assistance expiring. Who's impacted and what it could mean for those who depend on the help.
Plus, honoring the past and celebrating our future. We explore some notable Wisconsin nights for Black History Month.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrian Lee. We begin with some breaking news this morning. An Amber Alert is out for 16-year-old Sophia Martha Franklin.
She was last seen at her home on Sunday night. Take a look at your screen. Police say she is 3 months pregnant and believed to be with this man, 40-year-old Gary Day, who is the father of her unborn child. There was a no contact order between the two. Day is believed to be driving a vehicle like this, a 2014 Buick LaCrosse. It does have Arkansas license plates that read BBR20L. If you have any information on where they could be, contact the Beaver Dam Police Department. We're going to give you that number right now. It's 888-304-3936.
Well, let's check in now with meteorologist Savannah Brito, who's out on our patio this morning. Savannah, we're tracking some alert day conditions for tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow definitely going to be a concern. Slick travel looking more and more likely, especially for those evening commutes to Wednesday and early morning Thursday for those that have to be out. Freezing rain, a wintry mix with even some ice accumulations expected. That's going to be all across southern Wisconsin, but the best chance for that ice accumulation, Madison and southward, especially across northern Illinois. We'll time that out coming up, guys.
All right, Savannah, thank you. I want to get to some other top stories this morning. A person is dead after a shooting in Beloit.
Police say the person died at the scene. It happened yesterday afternoon on Wisconsin Avenue. There's no word on any arrests. The Rock County Sheriff's Office is investigating this incident.
I continue our coverage now of the Dane County housing crisis. Funding changes this year could cause some more hurdles. It all comes from a pandemic-era initiative called the Eviction Diversion and Defense Partnership. Organizations like Dane County's Tenant Resource Center have received funds to help people find and keep housing. But by September, they must return any unused money to the federal government.
Back to the world that we knew before COVID and before this tremendous amount of federal resources came our way.
We are very worried about what this is going to mean for those individuals and those families.
The fear here is that there will be more evictions and that more people will have a harder time finding affordable housing. The funding coming to an end is not related to changes at the federal level. It was always set to expire this year.
Here's a live look at the White House this morning. That's where President Donald Trump will meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The two will hold a joint press conference. The meeting comes at a crucial time in the Israel-Hamas war. The two sides are currently in a ceasefire. CBS News is reporting talks of a second phase of the ceasefire, which could effectively end the war.
6:32 now. There are some new calls this morning to ban the sale of water beads. They look harmless and fun, but water beads can be dangerous to children because of the way they work. One parent, Ashley Hagan, is leading the charge. When her daughter, Kipley, was a toddler, she developed a rash and began throwing up. Doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong. Turns out that she had ingested the small beads that her older sister was playing with. When the beads made contact with water in her system, they expanded.
During surgery, they found the water beads had caused a blockage inside of her small intestine. Because the water beads were marketed as non-toxic, eco-friendly, and biodegradable, everybody thought that she would be fine.
Look at this. The beads can expand to 100 times their size when exposed to water. Emergency rooms across the country learned of more than 7,800 injuries related to water beads from 2016 to 2022.
Here at News 3 Now, we are honoring Black History Month. Every February, people come together to celebrate and focus on the achievements and contributions of African Americans. While it is very hard to name every single person who has made a difference in our community, I highlight some notable achievements of people in Madison and across the state. Throughout Wisconsin's history, you will find notable Black people who have helped positively toward change and paved the way for generations to come.
There are Black Americans, Black Wisconsinites who have been business owners, entrepreneurs, civil leaders, educators, nonprofit executives, judges, and you name it across the spectrum.
Michael Johnson, president of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County, is among those making a difference in our community. He says while the fight to end slavery and the civil rights movement are an important part of Black history, it goes beyond that.
Like Jay Anderson, who was the first Black barber. So you got people like that who have contributed to the economic engine of the city. You look at William Nolan, who became the first Black candidate for mayor back in 1866 and almost got 45% of the ballot votes back then, which was remarkable during the time.
For nearly 2 centuries, the Black community has played a part influencing and contributing to the greater Madison area and across the state.
You look at 1915, John Hill and his wife opened up the first Black-owned grocery store in Madison. Then you look at Carson Goley, first African-American to have a building named after him. He was a chef back in the 1950s at UW and was the first Black chef in the United States to have their own talk show.
Tuvelle Phillips, the first African-American woman to graduate from the University of Wisconsin-Madison Law School and the first woman and African-American to be elected Secretary of State in Wisconsin, and most recently, the first African-American woman to have an outdoor sculpture on any U.S. state capitol grounds.
And I can go on and on and on, from Barbara Nichols, who was the first president of the Wisconsin Nursing Association, who made history in 1970. I can look at Francis Huntley Cooper, who became the first Black mayor in the state of Wisconsin.
To Richard Williams, who became Madison's first Black police chief. And even looking at today, current Dane County District Attorney Ishmael Ozan is the first African-American district attorney in Wisconsin history. And it doesn't stop there. Inside the walls of the Wisconsin Historical Society on State Street, you'll find more rich Black history on display.
Ezekiel Gillespie was a former slave that moved to Wisconsin in the 1850s, settled in Milwaukee, and he was very interested and a big advocate for Black suffrage in the state of Wisconsin.
He went on to win a Supreme Court landmark case securing voting rights for Black men in Wisconsin. Another Milwaukee trailblazer, Earlene Fuller, set the bar high.
A really good African-American bowler. She started designing clothing for the leagues. She moves towards being a full-time producer and designer of bowling gear.
Looking forward, soon the Center for Black Excellence in Culture, founded by Reverend Dr. Alex G., will provide a space for Madison's Black community and beyond, a place to come together, celebrate excellence, build on innovation and leadership development, and much more. In Madison, Kyrian Lee, News 3 Now. News 3 Now will be celebrating Black History Month all month long through storytelling on the air and in-depth overviews on our website, channel3000.com. There you can find an interactive timeline to learn even more history that I could not list in a 3-minute piece. So
right,
yes.
There's so much.
There's so much to pack into.
You cannot tell Madison's story without mentioning all of those names, right? Yes. All played an integral part of becoming what our community is, that we all know and love so much. Really important to highlight this, especially during this month. Good work on that piece.
Looking forward to sharing more stories with you all throughout the month.
Coming up after the break here on News 3 Now this morning, a shocking new study on microplastics, where our bodies may be storing them and the potential risks.
And we're tracking freezing rain and alert day conditions for Wednesday. We'll time that out when we get back.
Plus, we're live in Cambridge this morning with the huge impact of Dip for Dozer and the milestone they're celebrating in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Hi, I'm Rich from Portnet. Hey, Savannah, plan my date.
1.net and all across southern Wisconsin, pretty much expecting similar conditions today, but a different story tomorrow. So there won't be problems. Clouds increase for your Tuesday with temperatures approaching the lower 20s. Tomorrow there is growing concern, and that's why we went with alert day conditions pretty much all across southern Wisconsin, but Madison, especially southward and across northern Illinois, that's where the greatest potential is locally anyways for freezing rain, even ice accumulation up to about 1/10 of an inch. Wednesday afternoon, that's when it'll start, but I think the greatest chance for any issues with traveling and slick conditions, that's going to be Wednesday evening and overnight into early Thursday morning. This is what I mentioned where that best chance of ice accumulations up to 1/10 of an inch. Madison a little bit northward, and then all these south areas included in this hot pink color, but the dells and areas northward still going to see freezing rain and a wintry mix along with light snow accumulations that are possible. We're just not forecasting as high of ice accumulations up north compared to in Madison and areas south. So for Wednesday, that's expected to start in the afternoon as a band of snow moves in, a little bit of break before freezing rain and a wintry mix will increase and move in. That'll continue through the evening and overnight hours. That'll move out by early Thursday. Let's time that out, what future track could look like. So that band of snow that I was talking about moving across Des Moines, this is the lunchtime hour still southwest of Madison. That passing through in the mid to late afternoon, all the freezing rain though still south of the area. I think at this point in time, areas like Platteville, Monroe could see that freezing rain already mix in. That's why I said those evening commutes could be problematic as that freezing rain moves in. Areas where you see the hot pink color, darker a little bit compared to the lighter pink color, that's where the greater chance of heavier ice accumulations are going to be. But notice we still start to see that track into southern Wisconsin. For northern and central Wisconsin, that solely will come as snow. That's where the greatest snowfall accumulations with this system are going to be, at least locally. That moving out then by early Thursday morning. But even to Thursday morning commutes, I think those will still be impacted with commute slick spots. So just allow for extra time. Reduced visibility expected as well. 36 on Thursday, and then temperatures are going to fall after the weekend system. That could bring us another chance of wintry precipitation. That time, that will come as snow on Saturday.
Okay, so obviously tomorrow, a little more dangerous impacts to your commute, but then you get to see some snow. I know that you've been missing out on, so.
Potentially some accumulating snow on Saturday.
There you go.
And the freezing rain, though, no joke. It can get pretty dangerous out there with the freezing rain. I did see a lot of the roads were pre-treated this morning on my way into work, which looks like the road crews are getting ahead of it, so that's some good news, but don't get too much confidence out there. This stuff can get really slick.
Avoid travel if you can, or at least allow extra time.
Right. All right, Savannah, thank you. And if you want Savannah to play in your day, she'd love to do so. Just record a video like you just saw earlier. Share your name and where you live, then send it our way. You can send it via our website, the First Warn Weather app, Facebook Messenger, or email. Then watch around this time every morning to see if you come on the air. We're switching gears now to the 608. The Cambridge community is coming together this weekend to celebrate a big milestone for an event focused on giving back.
Our Josh Sprider is there this morning. What a beautiful shot. Photojournalist Mark Schilling wowing us this morning with the sunrise over Lake Ripley. Oh, Josh Sprider, what a scene to talk about an event celebrating a big milestone this year.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, beautiful shot behind us across Lake Ripley. We're on the beach here this morning, and not for warm reasons. We're getting ready to jump in the lake. It's called Dip for Dozer, and they're celebrating 20 years here in Cambridge this weekend. This is going to be the place to be. Kim Zulsdorf is joining us this morning. Kim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh. Thanks for coming down to the lake.
Oh, my gosh, you bet. How can we not have just the most beautiful morning here in front of the lake?
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and it'll be just as pretty on the day for Dip for Dozer. Except there'll be a lot of tents and hopefully a lot of people down here and a lot of dippers jumping in the water.
So take us back. Dip for Dozer celebrating 20 years. And of course, Dozer was your son. Yeah. And this event is in honor of him and really giving back to the community.
Yes, it is. It started in honor of Dustin and as a fundraiser for a scholarship fund, but it's grown to be a real community event where we bring in organizations from across the community and local businesses help support us. So we really like to think that it's becoming our winter carnival here per se.
You know, you look back 2 decades of work here in the community and how much this has grown. What do you think Dozer would be saying if he was here today?
I think Dozer absolutely loves that we do this. He loves watching us jump in the water and thinks we're probably nuts for doing it. I mean, we've got costume contests. You know, people really go all out to be competitive and have a fun time with it. I also think that he would love how much we've raised, you know, funds for the scholarship.
Yeah, we have some video, some images we want to show people this morning because this really is a party. And I love how, you know, the Cambridge community is small, it's mighty, but a lot of folks will come back, especially for this event.
Yeah, we get a lot of, you know, Dustin's buddies come back, but then other people have put this on their calendar from year to year, and they actually start planning their costumes right after the one dip, you know, for the next one. So yeah, it's a fun time just to get together and, you know, share some memories, but also, you know, create a bunch of new ones.
And I love how this community is all about celebrating Dozer, but also focusing on giving back for the future moving forward here for all of these kids here locally.
Yes. Yeah, we've given out 84 scholarships so far, and the great thing about this scholarship fund too is that, you know, it's for any kind of post-secondary education or training. So I think that's one of the unique aspects of it, and I also believe that's why we get so much support from the community for it.
Well, I know last year you guys didn't have a lot of ice because of the warm weather. It looks a little different here this year.
Yeah, I think they're saying, what, like 18 inches or so of ice? Yeah, so no running in the water this year.
Oh, this is going to be so fun. So people are interested in helping out or just supporting the cause, coming out here and showing their support. What do they need to know?
Just come on. You can come down to the lake and register beforehand. Registration is from 11:30 to 12:30, and then we dip at 1 o'clock. But spectators, come on down starting at 11:30. We've got turkey bowling, hot food down here, and a lot of our local businesses are doing things to support the dip as well by having specials. So please come out and enjoy Cambridge.
A community-wide event.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Kim, thank you so much, and congratulations on 20 years. That's a huge milestone.
Thank you.
If you'd like to learn more about Dip for Dozer and how you can help in their 20th annual event this weekend, just go to the story up on channel3000.com. Beautiful morning here. It's going to be a beautiful day on Saturday to come out here and make a difference, guys.
Well, congratulations to 20 years, big milestone, and it is a gorgeous shot. Thanks, Josh.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email us at inthe608@WISC-TV.com for a chance to be featured. 6:49 as plastic waste skyrockets. Experts say threats to human health may escalate. A study found microplastics have been detected in food consumed by humans and in the air.
Our consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn is looking into a new study this morning that breaks some of this down. And Michelle Renee Quinn, some of this is rather alarming, the amounts that these researchers found in our bodies.
Yes, that new study found human brain samples contain an entire plastic spoon's worth of nanoplastics. Researchers studied human brain samples collected at autopsies last year and in 2016. They found the 2024 brains contained about 50% more microplastics than the ones from 8 years ago. Now, in 2023, a group of scientists, healthcare workers, and policy analysts determined plastics are associated with harms to human health at every single stage of the plastic life cycle. But an expert not involved in the study said finding plastic deposits doesn't prove they cause damage. Experts still recommend taking steps to reduce your exposure to plastics. Now, some ways to reduce exposure include using an alternative in the microwave. Do not heat or reheat your food in a plastic container. Ditch the plastic wrap. Alternatives can be storing leftovers in reusable glass or metal containers. Beeswax wraps, aluminum foil, or parchment paper are also better options. And don't rely on bottled water. Fill up a metal reusable bottle for when you go out, and you can always filter your tap water. While it might be practically impossible for us to eliminate plastic from modern life, these are just a few steps that you can take right now to cut back.
All right, Michelle Renee, thank you so much for getting us updated and informed this morning.
Absolutely.
Well, coming up in the morning sprint, an update to a major vegetable recall sold at Walmart.
If you have a little kid turning 3 soon, send us a picture. We'll show it on TV. The morning sprint is next. 6:54, time for the morning sprint.
We're following some breaking news this morning. An active Amber Alert is out for 16-year-old Sophia Martha Franklin, who you see here. Police say Franklin is 3 months pregnant and had last been seen at her home on Sunday night. Sophia is believed to be with this man, 40-year-old Gary Day. Day is believed to be driving a 2014 Buick LaCrosse with an Arkansas license plate. It reads BBR20L. If you have any information on where they are, please contact Beaver Dam Police.
One person is dead after a shooting in Beloit and no arrests. It happened yesterday afternoon, shortly before 4 o'clock. Officers responded to the scene here on Wisconsin Avenue. One person was shot. They died at the scene. There's no word on any arrests this morning. The Rock County Sheriff's Office is investigating.
Here's a live look at the White House this morning. That's where President Donald Trump will meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The two will hold a joint press conference. The meeting comes amid reported talks of potential next steps in a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Depending on how it plays out, it could bring an end to the war.
New tariffs on Chinese imports take effect today. China is enacting its own tariffs on some American goods in response. Europe also bracing for a trade war of its own with the U.S. The president of the European Commission says she wants to start negotiations with the U.S. early. Meanwhile, President Trump says he plans to have a dialogue with Beijing soon.
However, tariffs with other North American countries are on hold. President Trump postponed tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports for at least 30 days. Both countries agreed to take extra steps to prevent the flow of drugs into the U.S. Canada and Mexico are two of the United States' largest trading partners.
FDA now saying that recalled broccoli florets sold at Walmart are potentially deadly. Braga Fresh recalling 12-ounce bags of ready-to-eat market-side broccoli florets in late December. It was because of possible listeria contamination. The recalled broccoli is no longer on store shelves, but it was sold in roughly 20 states with a Best By date of December 10th.
Well, today not going to be a problem. Temperatures are going to be cooler than normal, though, a high near 22. But then the alert day conditions tomorrow for freezing rain, light ice accumulation, slick travel. We're likely going to see that, and the impacts to tomorrow evening's commutes and early Thursday morning.
All right, so just take it easy out there if you do have to be out on the roadways. Savannah, thank you.
We're back with the news and weather update in 30 minutes.